Hi guys, my name is Alex Albers from the marketing department here at Horizon Hobby, and today I have with me Ali Machinchi, and today we're going to talk about, give you all the details about the new, well, kind of new, still new, Hangar 9 Fokker D.VII. So normally we do this when we announce a plane, but this time we wait a couple months.
Yeah.
That way we can get all the questions and all the feedback from our customers, and then put it all together and answer hopefully all the questions that are out there. So.
Yeah, it's something new for us at Hangar 9. We've seen initial launches of airplanes. Right. The first customers, they get them and they have questions. So we thought with this particular project, Tech Talk comes in after the first wave and before the second batch of orders come in. So we have a chance to answer those. And Alex has questions on his laptop, so it's the perfect opportunity to do that.
Right.
But we'll start with the basic Tech Talk about the airplane. There's been a lot of questions. And
yeah, so one of the main ones that we hear a lot of is the engine options, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about what engine options are the ones in the sample models, and which ones you run, and let's go through all of them. So.
Yeah, even in the descriptive of the D.VII, we've labeled it 30 to 60 cc. Right. That's quite broad for us. Normally we're more specific. As the developer of Hangar 9, I'm trying to make airplanes which have a broader range of appeal. So, and one of those critical elements is engine choice. Right. People have engines, people have preferred engines in different sizes, and not just internal combustion. You've got guys that want to run electric. So with the D.VII, it was always the target was to have a wide engine range. And I knew the difficulty was going to be to make a big enough D.VII that would fly on a small enough engine. So this aeroplane tested on a 30cc, Evolution 30. Wow. Okay. It flew wonderfully. And it's gone all the way up to the biggest engine we fitted thus far is the Evolution G62. 62cc. Okay. And in that, we already see our customers out there fitting all different types of engines, which is the super cool bit. You know, we've got DLEs, DLAs, 55, 61s I've seen. There's a guy fitting a twin. There's a guy putting a Sato 4-stroke 40cc.
I saw one with the electric starter on it.
Electric starter 55cc, I've seen, The good news about the D.VII is that it's the ideal aeroplane to do that to because of the size, the wing area, the relative lightness for its size, and also the way the cowling is set up. It's the whole fuselage and cowling is set up that it can take a whole bunch of different power plants. Slab-sided fuselage, cowling all slides off in one, so super easy access. Cooling's great. You put a hole in the bottom and it flows out. So yeah. There's a lot. I mean, if you study the manual online, it'll give you an idea pictorially what you can do and what you can't do as far as engine fitments. But it's the most versatile scale aeroplane we could find, really. Awesome. And the same with electric flight. We have flown with a very small electric motor in comparative terms to the size of the airplane, which was a E-Flight Power 160 on 10S. All the way up to the Rimfire 65cc, which is what's in this one. That's a beast of a motor. And the plane's flown superbly. It's just staggered in the air. With the Evo 30 and the small 160, 170 size motor, it's still fully aerobatic, much more than the real one. Loops, rolls, chandelles, and so forth. With the 65cc electric motor and the 62cc Evo, you may see in some of the videos, it's capable of doing a lot more than scale. You know, we're talking, sorry guys, we're talking prop hang, 3D, rolling Harriers. I know that's not scale, but it's capable of doing it.
And it's also fun too, right? It adds to the experience of the flight.
Correct, And again, that was another guiding principle in designing this aeroplane. I wanted something that everyone could fly, you know, not just the guys that wanted to fly around and just do laps, which there's nothing wrong with. This is what this airplane is ideal for. But I looked at it and went, you know what? Slab-sided fuselage, lots of side area, decent control movements. This thing could aerobat. So increase the ailerons by 15%, cheated the fin and the stab, increase the area of all of the tail section from scale, just a little bit, but enough to make it more effective. And that gives it that wider flight envelope, which we were looking for.
So going back to the gas engine option 62GX, the muffler, there's a lot of questions about, is the muffler going to fit inside or do I have to cut it?
Again, it's slab-sided. It's 7 inches wide from left side fuselage to right side fuselage. So anything you want to do, you do. Now, when we were doing the development models, I thought I'd have a bit of fun and use the wraparound muffler with the exhaust coming out the top. The real engine exhausts out the top and out the side here. Now, I'm sure we're going to see people who are far more skilled than I, who are going to make proper, legit working exhaust systems.
Okay.
But for me, I just wanted the smoke coming out the top, so I did that.
But
cool. You can have it coming out the bottom.
Okay.
Dude, you could even have it coming out the side if you wanted to. So it's up to you.
Now, where'd that prop come from, sir? There's a lot of questions about
the prop's super cool. We get a lot of questions about the World War One, sorry. Wrong war. World War One prop. That's actually from Falcon.
Okay.
Supplied to us by our friend and partner Steve at Bob's Hobbies down in Florida. He's one of the Falcon distributors. Okay. They make a whole bunch of these super scale, I don't know if we can probably mess it up, but yeah, the super scale World War One looking props. I mean, this is just one of them. This is on the 65, comes all painted like that. To me, it finishes the plane off. I mean, you don't have to use it. And the funny thing is, modern propellers, plastic or carbon props are going to be more efficient, I'm sure.
Right.
But you know what? It looks too cool not to use. So
It looks amazing. What about the flight times on electric and gas?
Dude, again, that's as versatile as the engine choice. Huge fuselage, great big wing area, relatively light means you can fit all different types of batteries.
Okay.
Put this into context. A normal flight time for electric airplanes is about 6-7 minutes, okay?
Right.
On the 10S setup with the Rimfire 170 motor, we're averaging around about 8 minutes on 5,000. The thing will take 2 parallel. So we can go to 10,000. We're hoping in the next few weeks, my colleague Gary Wright and I, we're going to do a 15-minute flight on this thing, on one set of batteries.
Wow.
So what I'm trying to say, my long-winded way of saying it, excuse me, is it's up to you. It's so much, it's a cavernous fuselage. Okay. You can put 100 ounces of fuel in there if you wanted to and fly for 2 hours. You could put probably a 20 amp battery in there and fly for 25 minutes. It's up to you.
Awesome. So let's move down to the landing gear and the wheels specifically. So the landing gear is it bungee jump or does it have rubber bands?
So this was probably the longest part of the development was the undercrackers, as I call them, because they came from the factory first time round with fixed gear using a commercially available wheel and tyre. Okay. Worked great, it's fine, but no suspension. And the commercially available wheel and tyre was only 7-inch, which was slightly under scale for quarter scale. So, you know what, I flew the sample and it was great, but I was like, there's something just not quite finished about this. And I went, stuff it. We're going to commit to another probably 2 or 3 months worth of work and made the gear scale, so it's bungee operated, so it's full suspension. Look at that, Independent axles as well, which is nice. So you go over a bump and it cushions out everything. Same with the tail wheel, by the way. That's bungee sprung as well with an access panel on the side. So if you do have to replace that bungee, you can. Same with the main undercarriage. All accessible from underneath. So if your bungees wear out or you have a bad landing and you bend an axle, you get in there and repair it. The wheels, they were like, they added about 2 years to my life, I think, because we had to make a whole new set of tools. 8-inch wheel and tyre.
That's about scale, right?
It's exactly scale. And non-flat spot tyres. The commercially available items that we've all used before, they're lovely, they're soft and squidgy, but the problem is you leave it sitting there for longer than a few hours, you get this annoying flat spot. And when you come to taxi out, the plane's all bouncing around. We went with the whole new hard compound rubber, let the suspension do the work, and the tyres don't flat spot. So I'm particularly proud of that.
And they're included in the box, by the way.
Yes, all standard in the box. Yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk about moving up to the wings. I see 2-piece wing, aluminum tubes, and I think there's a system that doesn't take you a lot of time to put in the field. Is that right?
Yeah, so I chose the D7 for many reasons, lazy being one of them. It's got no rigging wires, so you don't have to do that. It flies great as a World War I airplane, but the main thing was that I knew from the get-go I wanted a biplane, a World War I biplane, that I could get to the field easily and get flying easily. I was at a scale competition, Top Gun last week, and I watched one man rig a scale biplane, and no word of a lie, it took him 5 hours. 5 hours from the moment he started to the moment he was finished. And I was like, I admire him, I respect him, but that's not me. 5 hours is like longer than my attention span that I can put into a day at work. So the D7 was that with that in mind. So the wing struts themselves are 4 screws with blind nuts installed. So literally 4 440 screws, and I can have the wing struts off if I want. No rigging wires, as I said before. 2-piece wings. The center panel here stays on top of the cabane struts. So it's no wider than the tail group itself. And the best bit is the wings, when you take them off,
Cradle system.
stay on this cradle system. So what you have there is this comes in the box, elastic banded on. I take off one screw at the top, no bending down, no getting underneath. Top hatch off, one thumb screw here. That's my wings done. Wow. One aileron servo, that's all the rigging. Awesome. So I can get to the field and have this rigged in the same time as I would a sport aerobatic airplane.
Wow.
So, and you don't have to do this. You can, if you're tight for space, you can take the wings apart and not use the cradle. Even then, all you're doing is adding 4 screws to the mix.
Wow.
So, yeah, particularly pleased with this. It makes life a lot more convenient.
Awesome, awesome. So, we have a top hatch, I see here.
As big as I can get it. Yep.
That's for the batteries and all the servos.
General access, building it, access for fuel tank, batteries and so forth. As I said, it's as big as I could get it. Unfortunately, the top wing is a little bit in the way, but if you look, we can lift it up and out. Got to be careful when you lift it up and out, only because the guns are all printed. They're really nice. They have the gun sights on them. So. Semi-scale cockpit, we knew from the get-go this was not going to be Top Gun scale. We wanted to make a sports scale for everyone to fly a giant World War I. So we give the basics, the pilot's included in the kit.
And machine guns as well, right?
Yeah, we know people are going to fit some super trick, $200 pilots. That's great, good for them. It's a tub-style cockpit, so we accommodate that. And the cockpit detail is the basic cockpit detail.
Awesome.
Yeah, access, thumb screws as well, by the way, here and here. No need for tools. We wanted to make toolless assembly as far as possible. So, access through here. We have the servos in here. This particular airplane has the sound system. So if we show a B-roll and we get in there, you'll see some transistors here, speakers basically. And don't worry about those. They're nothing to do with the kit themselves. This is a sound system we have to replicate the real engine noise. Battery tray. Single screw, again, thumb screw can come out. You can fit the batteries on the tray and then slide the tray in. That's included, or you can just Velcro it. I just normally Velcro it. Gas tank sits also on that battery tray. That's that undone. And if I can get it out without destroying it. All the Velcro straps are done up, of course. So you can fit on that. We run different battery setups. We run a 12S. 7000. That requires no balance weight. It balances perfectly with that. That's on the Rimfire 65. We run a 4 battery 10S 2P on the Rimfire 170. So it's versatile. You can fit in pretty much whatever you want. As far as balance is concerned, we've read some comments about people concerned about balance. Now, doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out. Center of gravity is about here. The nose versus the tail ratio, they're going to need nose weight. And that is, funnily enough, how we ended up with the Evo 62. The Evo 31 was flying beautifully, it was wonderful, but it needed like 5 pounds of lead in the nose. It's normal for a plane like this. Now, immediately we started working with the factory, lightening the back end up. So we've now got that down to about 3 pounds with the smaller, lighter engines. But we're like, hold on a sec, we can turn that weight into useful.
To our advantage,
so we put this 62cc. So I guess I'm trying to say is for those wanting to fit the smaller motors, you're gonna have to use nose weight. There's no way around equipping an airplane, unless we made the nose out here, which then you'd go, hold on a sec, that looks, that doesn't look quite right. So, that's to bear in mind.
Awesome. So now you have the hatch open. Let's talk about some of the servos what servos are we using and receivers, options do we have there?
Dude, 6320s, 6380s, we've done the whole setup. Because it's a slow flying airplane, because the surfaces are relatively small, you don't need to be spending 125 bucks a servo. So elevator servos are independent, keeps rigging super simple, we have some redundancy, also lessens the load on the servo. Tail skid isn't steerable, so the rudder doesn't need huge power. So any standard size servo, I mean, I would recommend Metal Gear just because of the size and the durability thing. But any standard size servo, Metal Gear will operate this plane.
Awesome. And receiver, same thing, right? You can use any I guess from 6 channels all the way to AS3X 9 channel.
I'm waiting for someone to do it 4 channel.
You can even
You
do that,
could,
right?
yeah, you
it's a
could
4-channel.
do it a mixer and have the 2 elevator servos. But yeah, for simplicity, a 6-channel.
6-channel, yeah.
I love the AR9350 gyro.
The AS3X, yeah.
7350.
Yeah.
I love the AS3X.
Right.
Does the plane need it? Heck no, it doesn't. Is the plane better with it? In my humble opinion, yes.
It is.
It has that stability. It gets rid of that lumps and bumps, especially this aeroplane at 23 to 27 pounds is ridiculously lightly loaded. So you go out on a thermic day or a windy day, the gyro system helps.
Awesome, awesome. One of the comments that we saw were the decals. What kind of the decal options do we have there?
Again, it's a standard. My MO now with Hangar 9 is to try and include multiple decal sets.
Okay.
The logic is that I know that people aren't going to be competing with this aeroplane as it is out of the box.
Right.
So I also know that I've heard from people who go, I don't want my plane to look the same as Bob's or Fred's or Joe's at the field. So I give multiple decals.
You can customize it as they want and that way.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're not applied on the box model. The black stripes are, the covering's obviously applied, but these markings aren't. That gives you flexibility. There's, I think there's about 8 different decals of which you can mix around, make your own up. Some are applicable as scale to this scheme, some aren't. And on that subject, we've had comments about the covering. Lots of comments about the covering.
Yep.
I would love to have made this aeroplane with matte text, like fabric covered material to give it that more scale look.
Right.
A couple of reasons why we didn't, and they're fundamental reasons, really important. Cost. The cost increase to cover it in fabric was something like 30% on the end price, which by the time we passed it on to the end user was like, oh, that's a bit scary. Weight's another one. The fabric covering is a lot heavier. Application, the factory that we work with is much happier working with genuine ultracoat. They'd not used fabric before, so they were a little bit cautious about doing that. All those things aligned, we're like, you know what? We know where we stand with ultracoat. We know customers can scuff it down if they want to.
And I'm sure there's going to be some people that are going to do that, right?
You could take a Scotch pad to this and lose the shine in about 2 hours, do the whole plane. You could do that and repaint it. You can paint straight onto ultracoat. There's lots of threads out there, people that have, facelift our models and put paint on them. Or you could recover it. Or, who knows, we might even have our arms bent hard enough that we speak to the factory and see if they'll give us an almost ready to cover version later on.
Right.
If there's enough response about that, who knows? We might go ahead and pull that trigger. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So we haven't talked about the price though. So the street price is what?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the marketing guy.
All right, $799. So
I didn't want to say because I get it wrong always.
For $800, you get a quarter scale, balsa build, almost ready to fly D7, which is pretty good value.
I don't want to draw a comparison to kit manufacturers because there are kit manufacturers out there that offer aircraft like this, and I totally respect those that want to go out and build a kit of this airplane. I understand that's the hobby for some people, but I also understand that a lot of people haven't got that time. They haven't got that ability, space, all of those things align. But if you go and look at a kit price of what it would cost to build this airplane from one of the kit manufacturers out there, $799 is ridiculously good value. You've got to incorporate into that price the covering, the scale details, pilot,
covering
guns.
Is about $150 maybe?
It's scary, dude. By the time you add it up. So I'm super proud. I would be, but I'm super proud of the project and really happy with the price point.
Awesome. All right, is there anything else that we need to add that we haven't covered already?
No, like I say, we monitor the threads. We appreciate the feedback. I've had a blast developing this airplane. It's been one of the most fun Hangar 9 projects. It was met with a little bit of reluctance when we first said, we're going to make a big giant World War I biplane, do you remember? And the meeting room just went quiet. Crickets and stuff. But it's been received really well. Love to see feedback from guys who are personalizing it. Please keep those coming. Please keep the input coming. We do listen, we do view it, and we do, where applicable, put that feedback into applications. So thank you very much for listening.
Thanks for watching us and happy flying. Thank you.